Hi friends, welcome back to a new video on my art channel. I just got back from my 5-day vacation visiting my family and I had a great time. I've come back loaded with some gifts that are art supplies. This is going to be an exciting mid-year art haul of sorts and I can't wait to open these with y'all. While I was away, I had also ordered the Derwent drawing pencils set of 6 colors because some of my viewers on my previous videos of Luminance color pencils had left very useful comments on trying out Derwent. Very excited to open this up, and we'll also open these 2 boxes of new art supplies that I'm super excited about. Since I got back, I've been continuing to practice a little bit with the color pencils in this sketchbook, and I use the Luminance color pencils that I have. Looks beautiful. I don't like to buy a large set right from the get-go. If you followed my channel, you'll know that's my style. Especially if the art supplies are expensive. I like to try out the different brands and then slowly expand by buying the individual colors if possible, or then upgrading to a larger set. So what was available in a set of 6 were these yellow ochre, reddish brown tones, a black and a white. So let's swatch these out at the end of this sketchbook. These are the Caran d'Ache Luminance ones. This is brown ochre. Super smooth. Oh, this is like crayons actually. These smell incredible too, just like the Caran d'Ache Luminance color pencils wood barrel. The core of the color pencils does appear thicker for the Derwent color pencil. The next one is sepia red. These remind me of the cosmetic color sticks, either for the wet line for your eye, like kajals. They are that smooth. Very nice. The next is sanguine, beautiful reddish brown earthy tone. This next is a color called chocolate. Which almost looks like black. I think the control that I experience with Caran d'Ache Luminance is definitely more in terms of how much pigment I want to lay down, depending on dark or light. The Derwent drawing seems super pigmented and so soft to apply. There's a tendency to keep using it and applying the color onto the page because it's so soft and buttery. So I'll have to use this more to understand the ability of control on pigment laydown versus the Caran d'Ache Luminance. First impressions are of course really nice because I love the texture. Next is ivory black. This is definitely like a kajal. So kajal is a cosmetic product which is used to basically line the waterline of your eye. and this reminds me of that. So I guess swatching the white is not going to show up that well, but we will also try this out on some mixed media and see how it layers. Beautiful. I love the feeling and the texture of this set. One thing I'm noticing is there's no light fast information on these color pencils compared to luminance that do have it. So my observation while doing this little piece, the Derwent drawing pencils are definitely more chunkier as compared to the luminance pencils, and they lay down almost like crayons on a pencil format. They are very creamy, but once you start to use them, I feel that the waxiness of the format comes through more as compared to when I was just initially swatching them. The luminance color pencils for me are somewhere in between a wax color pencil and a soft pastel pencil. It's just got that really soft, smooth finish to it. One observation was when using the drawing paper, the colored pencils were relatively easier to lay down. But on something like a 300 GSM cold pressed watercolor paper, which you can also use for mixed media and hence layering of color pencils on top, I found that the Derwent drawing had lesser coverage as compared to the luminance color pencils. It was much easier to control luminance coverage on a slightly textured paper like this as compared to the Derwent drawing pencil. Another thing is it's fairly simple to sharpen these Derwent drawing pencils also, as same as the case with the luminance color pencils. And the Derwent drawing comes with the sharpener inside the kit that makes it easy. Let's move on to the next part of the art haul. Next, let's open this box. So I've got my first Arches watercolor block. This is the 9 by 12 inch cold pressed watercolor block of 20 sheets. I'm so excited because I've never tried an Arches before. I would say the best watercolor paper, 100% cotton, which this is, that I've tried earlier has been the Fabriano Artistico watercolor block, and I do love this. You've probably seen some of my earlier videos where I've created some potted florals on this, and it's really delightful to use. I will do separate videos of trying this out for the first time in a subsequent video. All of these art supplies, except for the Derwent drawing pencils which I had ordered, the rest are all gifts from my elder brother. Now, as I also have started doing more mixed media artwork, this is the Strathmore Mixed Media Sketchbook. Is the 500 series. It's got 64 pages and it's 100% cotton. This is the soft covered sketchbook which I had wanted. Many of you would be familiar with this if you're already using it, and I can't wait to start using my mixed media art supplies on this. For example, gouache. Keeping with the theme of papers, the next is a Stillman & Burns mixed media sketchbook. This is from the Nova series and it is a 8 by 10 inch size, and it is medium grained, beige toned. So in terms of requirements for gouache, I feel pretty set now. So I have this beautiful natural white sketchbook from Strathmore and this beige toned mixed media sketchbook from the Nova series of Stillman and Byrne. I'll do separate videos on creating artworks using this paper. And now this little box of treasures. I have my first Daniel Smith watercolor paints. This was a complete surprise for me and I was so excited when I saw it. This is the Jean Haynes set of 10 watercolor tubes, 5 ml each. There are some beautiful colors in this set. I love the way the swatches have been done here. Beautiful colors and a great collection for doing botanicals, loose florals. There's one more here. Oops. This is the Luna Blue. And this is the Cobalt Teal Blue from Daniel Smith. I didn't have a cobalt blue in watercolors. Let's open this up. In the past few years, I've largely used the Holbein watercolors and I absolutely love them. I've also tried out individual tubes from different brands like Magello Mission Gold as well as Dale Rowney. I also especially love the White Nights granulating paints and I've used them in my earlier videos. I'm looking forward to trying the Daniel Smith watercolors for the first time and I'm definitely going to dedicate a separate video for the same. Next out of this box is a ceramic palette travel set for watercolors that I'd wanted, and this is by a brand called Bowerbird. It's heavyish because it's got ceramic inside, a metal box. They have different configurations of the number of wells and the mixing area, and I chose this 12 wells and a smallish mixing area, but I think good enough for travel. I think this can come off. It has this little swatch sheet here. So I'm thinking it's a good idea to have the new Jean Haynes Daniel Smith set in this little travel palette. I'll think about whether to add the Cobalt Teal Blue as a part of this, though it's not a part of the same color palette, but to just have the paint from the same manufacturer in this little set. And last but definitely not the least is the 16 compartments storage box for my gouache paints. This has got this nice silicone airtight mat. The wells are deep, but they are also narrow, so you won't be able to get a large brush into these individual wells. But I think it's good enough because for travel, I'll probably be carrying brushes which are small to medium size. In one of my earlier videos, I had shared this wooden teak palette and I have been using it for my gouache, although I wouldn't take it on a trip with me because once the gouache dries, this is the Holbein gouache by the way, once it dries, it tends to fall onto the other side and can even contaminate the paints. It's actually a great palette for using while on the desk, but I needed something which I could travel with, and I'm hoping that this serves the purpose of being able to paint when traveling out with gouache. That's it friends from me in this video. I hope you enjoyed this mid-year art haul. I would love to know from you in the comments below if you've used some of these products before and what has your experience been. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, happy painting!